Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our market research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price moves and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Well, guys, welcome back to another week in the crypto markets. Obviously, we've been seeing a ton of stuff on the macro front. Japan's bond market has been rocking and rolling. The rest of the global markets, the US dollar has been suffering as of late. And just about an hour or two ago, the Fed had their meeting and said that they are going to be keeping rates steady. Interestingly, in the crypto space, Tether, the largest stablecoin issuer, is going to be introducing a regulated US-based stablecoin to their repertoire. This seems to be received well since they are currently kind of shut out of the US regulated market according to some of the Genius Act provisions. But as always, we're here to talk about the tokens, so we will jump right in. So first up, I'm going to talk about Avalanche. So Avalanche, the layer 1 protocol, they on Monday saw the first ETF for them launch. So the ETF is sponsored by Van Eck, the digital assets asset management firm, and they are going to be giving investors exposure to staking rewards alongside the spot's price appreciation of the AVAX token. So for those who aren't familiar, Avalanche was launched in 2020 as an alternative to Ethereum. It was founded by Iman Gunsur, who is one of the Ethereum co-founders. He left and decided he wanted to build a better version of Ethereum from the ground up. And it is, as a result, though, it is considered EVM compatible or compatible with Ethereum. So it does have that going for it. As of late, it has been focusing on hosting tokenized assets and bridging the gap between traditional finance and the on-chain economy. AVAX is down 3.8% for the week. All right, next up, I'm going to talk about Axie Infinity. It's been a while since we've mentioned this one. But last week, AXS, the token of the Axie Infinity gaming ecosystem, shot up after news that it had revamped its tokenomics at the beginning of 2026. So Sky Mavis, which is the developer of the Axie Infinity game, announced it would halt the issuance of what's called Smooth Love Potion, or SLP for short, in one area of its game. SLP is just this in-game asset that people can earn by playing the game. So additionally, the team introduced something called bonded AXS or BAXS, which means that any AXS tokens earned within the game are going to be non-transferable. So both these changes are basically aimed at curbing the farm and dump behavior that we're seeing between SLP and AXS, as they are, like I said, kind of these earned in-game assets that have real value in the outside world. Axie Infinity, if you're not familiar, they really peaked in 2021. At one point, they had over 2.7 million daily active users, and they saw the AXS token soar to about $157. For context, now it's at around $2. Since then, though, the game, like I said, it's lost much of its initial appeal as farming bots have really overrun the product, and game updates have been slower to ship than expected. The new tokenomics updates, though, mark an aggressive shift in the project's direction as the team attempts to right the ship. While AXS is only up about 1.5% for the week, it's up 75% in the last 30 days. All right, last up, I'm going to talk about River. So last week, a little-known DeFi project, River, received an investment from Tron founder Justin Sun, which caused the token's price to essentially double overnight. So River basically claims that they are building cross-chain stablecoin infrastructure. They also announced last week that they are going to be getting this investment from Sun of $8 million. The hope is that it's going to bring the deployments of the project to the Tron blockchain and Tron's associated DeFi products and stablecoins. Maelstrom Capital, which is Arthur Hayes' firm, and Spartan Group also invested in River. And the project has spent the last week on a bit of a partnership blitz with listings on major exchanges like Binance, OKX, and Huobi. Some, though, have voiced concerns about this token's meteoric rise. CoinGlass, according to data from CoinGlass, open interest on River was over 80 times the spot volume. And typically when you see perpetual futures volume so much larger than the spot volume, you can essentially assume that the perpetual futures market is influencing the spot price, not organic spot buying. So the token is up about 11.9% in the last week, but it's up over 810% in the last month. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.